Welcome to Universal Group of Institutions. I am Lavanya. In the last video, we discussed about the second chapter of NCERT's 7th grade, which is Nutrition in Animals. So in this video, we'll discuss the third chapter, that is heat. We experience hot and cold every day, right? Like touching a cup of hot tea or holding an ice cube. But can our skin really measure temperature accurately? Not always, right? Because when you dip one hand in hot water and the other hand in the cold water, and both of them in lukewarm water, where one of your hand feels cold and one of your hands feel hot. So this shows our sense of touch can be misleading. So to measure temperature correctly, we use thermometers. Yes, we use clinical thermometers or the thermometers. So this clinical thermometer is used to measure body temperature, which is long, narrow glass tube with mercury bulb at the end. The mercury rises when it's heated by our body temperature. It measures from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, and it has a special kink to stop the mercury from falling immediately. Why? Because so that we can read the readings or the temperature easily. And the normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So how do we use it? Before using it, we have to wash it with antiseptic and shake it to bring the mercury below the 35 degrees Celsius. Okay. While using, place the bulb under the tongue for 1 minute. So during using, what we have to do? We have to place the mercury bulb under our tongue for 1 minute, which is steady. And then after that, hold it at the eye level to read the temperature correctly. So the normal human body temperature, as I said, which is 37 degrees Celsius. So this concept connects with physics in daily life and public health basis. So which is important in GS 3. That is science and technology, and in prelims for understanding the thermostatic scales. Now, not all the thermometers are meant for humans. Some are laboratory thermometers also. So this thermometer is used in science labs to measure the temperature of other objects, not the bodies. So it has a wide range from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, and it does not have a kink like the clinical thermometer. So while using it, keep it upright and ensure the bulb does not touch the container's side. So always take the reading while the thermometer is still inside the substance. To measure daily weather temperatures, meteorologists use the maximum minimum thermometer. So this maximum minimum thermometer records the highest and lowest temperature during the day, and that's how meteorologists study weather. So today we also use a digital thermometers which work electronically and do not contain mercury, so which is safe and more accurate. So now let's move from the measurement to movement of heat, or how does the heat actually transfer. Heat always moves from hotter object to a colder object. There are three major ways. One is conduction, convection, and the radiation. First we'll look into the conduction. In the conduction, what happens? It travels through the solids like a spoon heating. For example, if a spoon is heating up in a hot soup. So like a metal rod heating from one end to the another end. So it is a heat transfer through solids from hot end to the cold end. So metals are the good conductors. And then convection. So in the convection, heat transfer in liquids and gases. So like warm air rises or hot air rises and cool air sinks. Okay. And third is radiation. Here without any medium. So through the empty space, like how the sun heats reaches the earth. So heat transfers without any of the media. And for example, we can say that sun heat or the sun rays reaching the earth. Okay, so these are the foundation for energy flow, weather system, and climate physics. And in conduction, the heat moves through solids from the hot end to the cold end. For example, if you eat one end of the metal rod and the other end soon becomes hot. So the heat travels through the metal from the hot end to the cold end. Like if we talk about the conductors, metals which allow heat to pass easily are aluminium, iron, copper, and steel. These are the examples. And materials like plastic, wood, water, and air are known as insulators, which are poor conductors of heat. So that's why the cooking pans always have plastic or wooden handles in them. Here, even the saucepan what we handle are made up of plastic or wood at the handle places. Next, now in liquid and gases, heat travels through convection. Here, the hot part raises and the cold part sinks, creating a circulation current. So this process helps heat distribute evenly. So it's the same principle that exhibits natural phenomenon like sea breeze and land breeze. Yes, so during the day, the land heats up faster than the sea. So if I take an example of coastal regions, the coastal regions experience cool breezes because of differential heating of land and sea. So during the day, land gets hotter fast than the sea. The warm air above the land rises and cool air from the sea moves in. So this is called as the sea breeze. And then at night, the land cools down faster. Now the warm air is above the sea and the cool air from the land moves towards the sea. So that is called as land breeze. So it is a circular current which has been creating between the hot and cold breeze. Okay, so that's why coastal houses have windows facing in sea to enjoy the natural cooling. So unlike this, conduction and the convection, radiation does not need any medium at all, right? So it's how the sun's heat reaches Earth through the vacuum of space. Objects can absorb and reflect or emit radiation. So that's why the color and texture of surface matter for the heat absorption. So why do we wear different colored clothes? So color also affects how much heat we absorb. Like light colored clothes reflect heat, keeping us cool in the summer. And at the same time, dark colored clothes absorb heat, keeping us warm in the winter. So color choice in clothing is not just fashion, it's a science. So in summer, we wear light colored clothes because they reflect most of the sun rays, keeping us cool. In winter, dark colored clothes absorb more heat and keep us warm. So the color of what we wear affects how much radiation we absorb or we reflect. So here, the woolen clothes are excellent insulators, okay, because wool keeps us warm because it's a poor conductor of heat, as air gets trapped between the wool fibers and prevents body heat from escaping to the cold air outside. Here's an interesting fact. So, two thin blankets are warmer than one thin blanket because of the air layer trapped between them. So finally, the concept of heat management is used even in the modern architecture, which is energy efficient buildings. So modern buildings use materials that help save energy. Hollow bricks and air gaps in wall act as insulators, keeping buildings warm in winter and cool in summer. This reduces the need for air conditioners or heaters, saving electricity and helping the atmosphere or environment. So to conclude, here's a historical nugget. So the Celsius scale was actually created by Swedish astronomer called Andreas Celsius, created the Celsius scale in the 1742. So originally he made boiling water at 0 degrees Celsius and freezing water at 100 degrees Celsius. So but it was later reversed to what we use today, which is boiling water 100 degrees Celsius and freezing water 0 degree Celsius. So the scale was inverted to match the initiative understanding higher temperature and higher number. So for UPSC aspirants, the concepts to GS paper 3, which is science and technology, and geography, including climatology, energy balance and environmental science, where understanding heat transfer, sea land breeze and energy sufficiency helps explain both natural and technological phenomenon. So this is the aspects where you have to concentrate on. So that's it for today. So in the next video, we'll look into the next chapter. So if you find this video informative, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.